welcome to another episode of Classic Dallas Cowboys Talk with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ is Lord. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. How about them Cowboys? All right, so that was probably the best performance. That was probably the best defensive performance I've seen since week one. Okay. The defense is starting to come. The defense started to come together. It's taken a whole year to learn Zimmer's scheme. Now I don't know if he'll be back next year. I don't know if he'll be back next year. Who knows? Also, I think there's a possibility that Mike McCarthy will be back because of the injuries we've had, because of the many injuries we've had. Dak Prescott for one, Trayvon Diggs, Josh Butler, Nealon, who was looking pretty impressive until he went down. It's been a story over our season. ACLs, PCLs, calf tears. Man, I can't remember a season when we've been hit this hard with injuries. Man, and we're somehow 6-8, and still have an outside chance to make the playoffs. Don't you think that has showing a lot of heart right there? Don't you think that's a lot of heart right there? Yeah. And it's been said that the players in the locker room want Mike McCarthy back. Okay. The players want Mike McCarthy back. So it really doesn't matter what us fans think. Okay. So to all you fans who want Mike McCarthy gone, I don't think it really matters what y'all think. Okay. Y'all can want him gone. But I think the players have a little bit more say or a little bit more clout. Not that much clout, but the players in the locker room have made it clear they want Mike McCarthy back. Okay? So it really doesn't matter what we think. But that's management's call. Okay? Say what you want. The players play hard for Mike McCarthy. They played hard for Jason Garrett when he was here. Okay? So, yeah. So, but we're 6-8. We still have an outside high shot. I think we have a pretty good chance on Sunday night to beat Tampa Bay. We just got to come out and get the job done. So, when Jimmy Johnson left after the 93 season, there were some in the Cowboys organization. There were a few people in the Cowboys organization who thought that Barry Switzer was walking into a trap. Okay? And you say, well, how was he walking into a trap? I'll explain to you. The Cowboys had just come off back-to-back Super Bowls. Okay? And so Jimmy just abruptly leaves. Okay? I'm about to make a point about Bill Parcells in a minute too, but if you watch the Deep Blue documentary on Barry Switzer, okay, Jimmy Johnson says that he had plans to leave the Cowboys. Okay, he had plans to leave the Cowboys, and Jimmy said it. He never really been at any team like more than 4 to 5 years, and Jimmy actually had plans on leaving the Cowboys. Okay, so, and also recently, a few years ago, he did an interview on The Herd, and Colin asked him about the divorce between him and Jerry. And Jimmy said, hey, when there's a divorce, there's always two people involved. Okay? In other words, Jimmy did things Jerry didn't like. Jerry did things that Jimmy didn't like. When there's a divorce, there's two people, right? So, Jimmy actually had plans to leave the Cowboys. Okay? Go and watch the Deep Blue documentary on Barry Switzer. You can find it on YouTube. Okay? So, Barry Switzer's press conference has me cracking up laughing. I watched some highlights of Barry Switzer's press conference. Some of the quotes had me cracking up laughing, okay? Don't you worry, Dallas Cowboy fans. Get ready to see the Dallas Cowboys be the best in the NFL. We got a job to do, and we're going to do it, baby! And earlier in the press conference, Barry Switzer said, I hope I can do as good as a job as Jimmy Johnson. I know that's what you're hoping, and I know that's damn sure what you're hoping. That's what he did to Jerry Jones. That's what he did. That's what he did to Jerry Jones. He said, oh, man, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I want to start hard tomorrow. Some of the quotes from Barry Switzer had me cracking up laughing. Oh. Even today in 2024, that has me cracking up laughing. But some of other players, okay, did not take the news well. You could, if you recall the footage where they have Michael Irvin throwing garbage cans at media, where Michael Irvin's throwing garbage cans at media because he was so upset that Jimmy was gone. But Michael Irvin says it wasn't so much he was upset at Barry, he was upset at Jerry. Okay. And yeah, but you talk to Cowboy players in later years, even Irvin, guys like Irvin Smith, they speak very highly of Switzer. Charles Haley speaks highly of Barry Switzer. The only issue was the relationship with Aikman. And Troy Aikman initially supported Barry Switzer. He's like, no, you're going to like this guy. He's funny. He understands the press. He's this and that. So, I lost my train of thought. Dang it. See, just when I'm about to make a good point, it leaves me, okay? So hopefully it'll come back to me, okay? So, Charles Haley recalls some of the memories he had of Barry Switzer. He says, Barry Switzer will take you on what he called a man walk. He says, you can either be a punk or you can either be a man. And Charles Haley says, Barry Switzer will curse you out for about 5 minutes. He says, okay, then I want you to go back over there into the huddle and act like I just told a joke and laugh. And so Charles Haley said, I used to do things intentionally to mess up, just so Barry Switzer could curse me out. And yeah, but there were some who thought Barry Switzer was walking into a trap because the Cowboys' former PR director, Rich Darrell, pointed this out. He said, I don't think he really understood what a trap he was walking into. Because if Barry won, he won with the players that had Jimmy coached at that level. And if he didn't win to any other level than the Super Bowl, it was a failure. Then Darren Woodson made the point that said Jimmy had the last say in things. I don't know if Barry quite had last say. Barry Switzer was more hands off and guys like Larry Brown understood that Jerry Jones was moving towards getting deeply involved with the franchise. And Larry Brown made the point that said Barry Switzer respected our coaching staff, our players, not to lie to them by saying, hey, it's me, 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 me. Okay? So, I don't think this has ever been done before. When Barry Switzer took over, he retained Johnson's entire staff. Okay? He retained Johnson's entire staff. Okay? The only change that was made was that head coach and that offensive coordinator, because North Turner left for the Redskins. Okay? So that was the only real change besides head coach. And so the players on the team said, okay, look all around. What has really changed? The coaches are still the same. The system's still the same. Okay? And not only that, not only did Barry Switzer retain all of Johnson's assistants, and he also stuck with Johnson's old playbook. Okay? So the players were like, okay, what has really changed? Nothing. Okay? Barry Switzer was the one who was making the primary transition. Okay? And so they go to 12-4, make the NFC Championship game. We fall behind 21-0 to San Francisco. Oh, man. We came back. Deion Sanders clearly held Michael Irvin. Deion Sanders clearly held Michael Irvin on a Nahan call. And we ended up losing the game 38-28. And guess who was blamed? Barry Switzer and Jerry Jones. Okay. And next year we return back to form. But I think out of all the 3 Super Bowls in 4 years that we won, I'd say 95 was the toughest. 1995 was definitely the toughest. Because Kevin Smith tears his ACL in the opening game. We acquired Deion Sanders. The Redskins were absolutely atrocious. We got swept by them during the regular season. Troy Aikman was accused of being a racist by one of the assistant coaches, John Blake. We got our asses kicked by the San Francisco 49ers at home. Okay. There was 4th and 1 in Philly. Okay. There was 4th and 1 in Philly. And then there was the beef between Aikman and Switzer the whole year. Okay. Yeah. And then there was suspensions, the drug suspensions of Clayton Holmes and Leon Lett. Hey. Then Larry Brown had a child who passed away during the season. Woo! Imagine going through all that and still winning the Super Bowl. Yeesh. Imagine going through all of that and winning the Super Bowl. That's why I say 95 was the toughest Super Bowl that we've won. 95 was the toughest. Okay. And so I think if Michael Irvin doesn't get hurt and Deion Sanders doesn't get hurt, we easily beat the Carolina Panthers. And I think we beat the Green Bay Packers. And we go on to beat the New England Patriots to win back-to-back Super Bowls again. Yes, I really believe that. If Michael Irvin doesn't go down against Carolina, if Deion Sanders doesn't go down against Carolina, we win that game. And then I think we beat Green Bay. And then we beat New England. Okay. But, no. Some things just are meant to be. So, I guess it wasn't meant to be. Switzer resigned at the end of 1997. Okay. So, I want to talk about Bill Parcells as well. Because there's this myth that Jerry Jones pushed Bill Parcells out the door. Okay. And again, there's a Deep Blue documentary that they did on Bill Parcells, okay, where they interviewed Parcells and his players. And Parcells talks about the Parcells talks about the plane ride home to Dallas after the heartbreaking loss to Seattle in the playoff game. By the way, I watched that game. I was down on the floor like this, crossing my fingers like this. I was down on the floor, crossing my fingers like this. Then I saw that play. I fell flat on the floor. Like, what just happened? What just happened? And when I got back to work that Monday, all my coworkers were asking me the same thing. What happened? Oh my God, I fell flat on the floor. I could not believe what I just saw. Anyway, back to the point. Parcells discussed the plane ride back home to Dallas. Parcells said, on the plane ride back to Dallas, he said, I'm thinking about a couple of things. Another draft, another summer of evaluating players, another training camp, getting ready for another season. This is out of Bill Parcells' mouth. He said, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Bill Parcells said, I just could not bring myself to do it. I couldn't do it. So then he told Jerry, he said, hey, I'm out. Okay. Not only that, I read somewhere where Bill Parcells said his energy level had diminished a little bit. Okay. You got to have an exorbitant amount of energy to be an NFL head coach. And Bill Parcells said, hey, my energy level had diminished a bit. Okay. So Bill Parcells, on the plane ride back to Dallas, he was thinking about all these things that you got to go through. Okay. Another draft process, another summer of evaluating players, another summer OTAs, another summer training camp. Bill Parcells said, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I just can't bring myself to do it. So I think there's a myth that Jerry Jones pushed Bill Parcells out the door. I'm probably the only one who believes this, but I don't think Jerry Jones pushed Bill Parcells out the door. I don't think Jerry Jones did that. I think Bill Parcells left on his own. Okay? And I would encourage you to watch the Deep Blue documentary. Barry Switzer, out of Jimmy's own mouth, Jimmy said he had plans on leaving the Cowboys. Okay? He says he never really stayed anywhere no longer than 4 to 5 years. Okay? So he had plans on leaving the Cowboys. Okay? So, but I want to say this. If you believe Jerry fired Jimmy, if you believe Jerry pushed Bill Parcells out the door, let me just say this. It all depends on who you believe, what you believe. I believe that Jimmy made his own plans to leave the Cowboys, and I believe Bill Parcells made his own plans to leave the Cowboys. That's just what I think. Okay? Call me crazy. Alright, alright, that's it. That's all for Classic Dallas Cowboys Talk. I am Sean Farrell. I am out of here. Let's go beat Tampa Bay Sunday night. Peace out. God bless.